And I think what is very shocking about what has happened is not really that shocking to people that have been paying attention, but I think we all thought that they were better than that, especially Barrow, that yes, he will go far, that he will touch some basic grounds here and there, but there are certain things we will not get to because that challenges the very core of who we are, right? And to know that the Gambian people, whether it's victims of Jammeh or the general public in general, have gotten to a place where we just expect the bare minimum of Barrow, the bare minimum of him. What we had expected, especially as victims of the past regime, is that he would not do anything for us, and we accept that as a base, but then that he will also just leave us alone. He will leave things where they are at. Don't change, don't add sugar, don't reduce. We were just hoping that he will leave things where they are, not to want to reduce or make it worse than it already is. You have made us get to a place where we are comfortable with the bare minimum from Barrow. He could just cough and we are okay with that. We, over the years, have accepted the fact that he did not have so much to offer. You just don't. You have a first family that have continued to traumatize a traumatized nation. In every aspect, Gambians should not be dealing with this type of trauma and remembering where we are at this point when people are hungry, when people are tired, when organizations are exhausted, civil organizations and groups are tired of being in conversation. Everything about Gambia is we are in conversation. We are in conversation about practical things to do to move the country forward. We are in conversation about what to do with our budget. We are in conversation about assault and women dying during delivery. We are in conversation about what to do with our documents, from the constitutions to every other act that has come after that. We are in constant conversations. There's nothing practical happening in that country that moves. And a lot of people have been quiet, not because they don't have something to say, or they're not hurting, or they're not realizing what's going on with the country. It's two things. One, people are exhausted. Two, people just have this feeling of hopelessness and the fact that we cannot do anything about our current situation. There's nothing more crippling than looking at your country and looking at yourself, and your most honest conclusion is we cannot do anything about this. For the longest time, every single time Barrow Tata for interviews or wherever you show up, Mr. President, when you're asked about the Truth Commission, when you're asked about the Jallow Commission, when you're asked about all of these commissions that you are quote unquote interested in, your answer have always been, let's see what due process does. Let's follow the rule of law. Let's see what the commission comes with, and then we will follow the process, and then we will come together with a white paper, and then we are going to run it through the National Assembly at some point. That has always been your answer. And you were making those answers fully aware of what your intentions were. What I do not understand, whether it's from a political perspective, I'll leave that to the politicians to analyze political variations of this. But what I do not understand is what makes you think the very people that have promoted violence, the very people that almost sank the country, the very people who continue to undermine your very existence as a president from the very beginning, the very people that continue to make press conference after press conference about their dissatisfaction of the processes and the institutions you've put in place, including the TRRC, people that have demonized the very establishment of such acts, the very people that have struggled, insisted, violated, The very people that put you in power. How did it occur to you that it was okay to bring those very people into the most powerful institution of that country? What also makes you believe that the very people that have been loyal to someone for so many years and defected when it was inconvenient will not also defect on you? How don't you see that you've given power to people and it could backfire on you if things doesn't work out? Why does it seem like you're punishing us? Why does it feel like Barrow is punishing us? What have the Gambian people done to deserve your absolute negligence, your absolute unapologetic expression of jutunea towards us? People that the country have not agreed to put in place. People whom the voters have clearly established their dissatisfaction of. People that are shamed within our social fabric are the very people that you put at the helm of our things. What is happening to the TRRC report? What is going to happen to all of those reports? You continue to tell victims over the years to sit and bear and be patient until the TRRC concludes. And now it has concluded. And now we have wasted so much resources on processes like the TRRC and other commissions. All for what? So it goes to the National Assembly headed by someone and deputized by someone, a group of people who believe the TRRC is a witch hunt. Who believes those very commissions whose reports had to come to that same National Assembly was a joke and a waste of time and unfair. But we are supposed to sit, sometimes a lot of people make this mistake to believe that you are not smart. I think you're very, very smart. I think you know exactly what you're doing. I think you are brilliant in the way you execute the things that you want. Because now you can raise your hands in the air and say, oh, I did what I was supposed to do. I established it. It went through. We followed due process. We brought out our white paper and we took it to the National Assembly. Whatever they decide there is their decision. What can I do about it? And put your hands in the air. You know exactly what you're doing. People are tired. It's always a press release, it's a letter to the president, it's young people or people coming out to protest. They are now in issue with the police. The police catches them, they're brutalizing them. Now we are worried about police brutality. Then the person who does that come on camera because people are so emboldened when they're impunely brutalizing Gambians. They come in, they have a 5 minutes fame on some social media or some reporter, and now all of our focus goes to that, and then we shift again to something else, and then it moves to another thing. A not focused country. Every aspect that you touch, you wake up every day in that country, there are girls being raped, violated, young girls, older women, every single day. People are waking up in these hospitals dying from simple procedures. Gambians come online and write the longest articles, the longest opinion polls. What? Nothing. You have some social media groups there and some bloggers who are just interested in the sensationalization of the Gambian pain. The ones on the ground are busy trying to eat and feed their families and just make it through that traffic alone. Electricity, And what I am saying is, I'm not saying one person is waking up every day not making sure that Gambians have these things. What I'm saying is we have so much more to worry about. Swing dara sorti wood, nothing. not our curriculum, not our constitution, not our roads. We as a country do not even have the opportunity to have bigger conversations because we are busy having to just thrive and survive. We are trying to just even have our president respect us for 1 minute. We are getting up every day and ensuring that you do not just make decisions that are going to affect us even when you're no longer in power. Why couldn't you just leave us alone? Why couldn't you just leave our parliament alone? Why would you bring in people like that you clearly know will cause controversy and that they will be there? Why is it? Where is the conscience of you and the people around you? And to think that you will do this type of thing in the week of April 12th, 13th, 11th, 14th, those days, these are the days that you choose to bring us down to our knees. Today is on the 14th. Do you know what happened today? Do you know the significance of this day today that has brought you to power? You came to power based off of our pain. Baro, ila mansaya natan tolla dimoleka on the suffering of Gambians. We never expect much from you. We never ask you for anything. We don't ask for much. We are just like, do your terms or however long you're going to be there, go. And please do not further destroy our fabric. Do not further traumatize the country. That is the baseline and the minimum we required from you. Why? Man, people are tired. And if you are the ordinary Gambian who doesn't know what's happening at that level, is exhausted in just trying to live. The Gambian who is in a civil society organization or runs a foundation is just exhausted from everything we have to deal with outside of the decisions that you're making. International organizations that work with the Gambia are just so done with being in conversation about issues that we really don't care about. Even the politicians are tired of politicking right now. You are just on the run and you're doing it all behind the scenes. You are quiet. You are for me, man, for de la mo kurun type of attitude. You don't talk to us. You are bigger than us. You've become better than us. But guess what? Nothing is going to happen again. Nothing. We are all going to make these lives. We are all going to write these opinions. We are going to wake up tomorrow and have to deal with the shenanigans of Bakary, Seedy, Njie, and every other person in that National Assembly. And they will make decisions that will affect us and our generations. They will make decisions that will bring that country down to its knees. And when victims rise up, and people will rise up, then we are further destroying that country. Then you have people that have opinions to give. When we leave to say we're going to go and find justice outside, oh, they are undermining the Gambia's justice process. They are undermining the Gambian. What is it not a joke? The National Assembly. It has become a joke. Bakary led press conference after press conference after press conference, vilifying other Gambians, vilifying the institutions we've put in place, trashing our convictions, laughing at victims of violence for 22 years. And you sat down and your conscience and your thought and everything told you it was okay to make him the Speaker of our National Assembly. Wow. We are not done yet. We're really not done until that country rises up. And it's so unfortunate that it's a country where drastic things have to happen. We're going to have a conversation about maternal mortality when, I don't know, someone dies, and that's not even enough. Let's wait for a powerful, rich person's wife to die on that delivery bed. Then we are going to do something about it. Let's have a conversation about women's rights. Oh no, we have to wait to watch one woman get brutalized or speak publicly about some gruesome violation. Let's talk about human rights, or let's talk about people being brutalized by the police. We have to wait for someone to die. Gambians are motivated by the worst case scenario. Solo Sunday had to die for our conscience as a country to wake up. Why? Why must people die before we all come together collectively to resist? You can't sleep with the enemy and tell me you're on my side. It doesn't work that way. And don't throw that excuse of always a democracy in my face. Don't throw that in my face. We cannot pick and choose. You can't keep some and jail others. And it's so crazy how you use that card of democracy when it works for you. Because when you do have your military and other institutions go after people, what happens to democracy then? And don't give me that excuses of we are all citizens and we all deserve positions. Excuse me? Why are more democratic countries against certain names being mentioned? You cannot attack the very fabric of a society. You cannot attack our institutions. You cannot be on the side of someone that has killed and maimed and jailed and disappeared and raped people and tell me you're a citizen that deserves to be at a very powerful position in our country. It doesn't work that way. You might as well just bring Njie and put him in that very position. And that is not beyond you at this point. The same National Assembly that we have to run to when we choose to extradite Njie, when we establish a court to extradite Njie, the very National Assembly that has to vote on if that is going to happen, that is the National Assembly you use to instill and put people that you know, they are telling you, they're literally telling you that they think Njie should be back. Respected citizen of the country. Guarded and probably protected on our taxpayer money because we don't matter. We are just children of poor people. You looked at the Gambia, you looked everywhere, you looked at all the citizens. And to you, Bakary Njie should be the Speaker of the National Assembly. That is your legacy? Yeah, if we are going to protest, but that's what I'm telling you. But the Public Order Act came in when? When Njie was in place, right? But it is still affecting us. How many years later since the Public Order Act? How many years? So that's the same thing. That Public Order Act was enacted where? In the same National Assembly that we are talking about. But the thing is, again, it is resistance and coordination that we are all agreeing on regardless of what our political affiliations are. Right? Because if we come together, if you have even about, I don't know, 5,000 people and more, if we come out in large numbers, who is going to arrest who? And where are you going to take everybody? It's easy to arrest people and take them into the PIU or wherever if it's only 5, 10, 100 people. If a country rises, where are you going to arrest and take them to? You're going to arrest the entire country? No. There's a specific number of resistance that rises. You can't stop that because they overpower the very institution that is supposed to, I don't know, stop them. But are we going to do that? Are 50% going to say they're going to walk in the streets and then the next day they bail out on you? Yeah, most likely. Because, again, we're a country that cannot have a conversation without mentioning political parties. How are we even enjoying our politics when we do not have a life? We don't have food to eat. We cannot even join our partners on the international stage to have conversations about anything, because we do not even have the very foundation off of which other innovations and changes come to. None. Zero. I'm done. And people ask, Gambia is like this traumatic cousin of yours that they will be like, in Fuller they will say, right? Meaning you have this person where you feel like they just cursed. And every time they suck you in and immerse you into that course, whatever they're going through. And no matter how you want to look away, they just keep punching at you and punching at you and punching at you, that you have to just look back. Man. Oof. Uncle Sa, yes, it's not. It's not. You know what? Yeah, but again, when you speak, it has to be attached to something else instead of the very essence of what we are saying. This is such an insult to everything that we have invested in. You know, that money could have gone somewhere else. This is just like one step forward, 10 steps back. And for what? To the benefit of who? And you know what is so interesting is that it will bite you, Mr. President. It will bite you, because we are all interconnected in that country. Yes, you might have it easier. You're not dealing with the small things and the day-to-day struggles of the Gambian for now. The very people you put there might work on some of the things that you want and keep you there, and then you would also do for them what you can whilst pretending it's the National Assembly and is an independent body. But just keep one thing in mind. You're working with people that have been with Jammeh longer than you have with them. People whom Jammeh has done so much more for than you can ever do. And at some point, they parted ways. And at some point, they chose another side that wasn't Jammeh's. And I hope that doesn't happen to you. Because then when it does, everything is going to backfire right back at you. So yeah, I'm not surprised, and I am not shocked by the people that are just exhausted and they take a deep breath. They just want to grab a painkiller and go to bed. People that wake up every day and just go like, I'm done with Gambia. People are tired. People are exhausted. It's the same wah every single time. The same talk every single time. We are stuck. It's like we are in this cycle of mediocrity and roundabout and yuck.